Straight ahead on CCX News, something new brewing in Brooklyn Center. We'll give you a taste of what's now happening at Surly's original home. Plus, project approved. We learn more about the new multi-million-dollar athletic complex soon to be built in Maple Grove. And Golden Valley residents pack city council chambers.
We, the community, are here tonight to give you our input.
They're concerned about the future of Scheid Park. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. There is power in numbers, and Tuesday night people packed City Hall to voice concerns over the future of Scheid Park.
Scheid Park is located between Toledo Avenue and Duluth Street in Golden Valley. It's just shy of 10 acres. One option the city is studying is building a new fire station in the park. The people who spoke this week want that option off the table.
Scheid Park in Golden Valley is a green space surrounded by neighborhoods.
I grew up as a kid playing in Scheid Park, learned to skate, learned to play basketball. So have my kids and my older brothers and sisters.
People who live near Scheid Park want to keep the park as is.
Parks are more than assets, parks are sacred.
They filled the public comment portion of Tuesday's city council meeting.
We own the park. I just want you to remember that.
They are concerned that a fire station could be built in the park in the future. The city is studying where another fire station could be located, and Scheid Park is an option.
What we want is for them just to take Scheid Park out of consideration of building a new fire station at it. We're not against a new fire station if they think that's what has to happen, but not in our park.
Even though the council could be years from making a decision on whether a new fire station could be built and just where it could go, money has been spent to study building a station in Scheid Park.
Once a study and they put money into something to figure it out, it's a done deal.
And residents have organized in a big way. They have formed a Save Scheid Park Facebook page, collected more than 700 signatures on a petition, and rallied neighbors to show up.
We're really impressed with how quickly things have moved, how interested the residents are in this issue, how much they love and value their park, and how much they want to preserve this park.
This isn't the first time city council members have heard about the opposition to changing Scheid Park.
I admire that they're working so hard for this.
Their job Tuesday was merely to listen and take this feedback into consideration.
They're passionate and they don't want to see it come, so they're going to be proactive and make sure that we hear their concerns.
Mayor Shep Harris told residents that nothing's set in stone yet. An action to put money in the 2019 budget to study options for a new fire station and collect more feedback could be on the agenda in August.
On Friday, a Brooklyn Park man will be sentenced after pleading guilty to stabbing his wife at least 30 times. Jethro Gaboa pleaded guilty to attempted first-degree murder. The crime happened at a Brooklyn Park apartment building last August in front of the couple's children. It's not the first time Gaboa turned violent against his wife. Before this incident, he was charged with domestic assault and ordered not to have contact with his wife. Sentencing guidelines call for a 15-year prison sentence.
Last week's high-speed chase and crash ending on a Minneapolis playground is calling attention to how police decide whether or not to pursue a high-speed chase. The Brooklyn Center Police Department did not get involved, and here's why.
The first question that we ask anytime a pursuit from another police department comes into Brooklyn Center, what's the reason? Why are you chasing this car? And then from there we go, okay, is this within policy?
The Brooklyn Center Police Department's policy for the pursuit is largely that officers will only engage in a high-speed chase if it's the result of a violent crime. Last week's chase began as a traffic offense, so Brooklyn Center Police did not participate. State law mandates that each law enforcement agency must have a policy for pursuit, but policies vary from city to city based on how different police departments view the risks versus the possible outcomes.
High-speed chases, by and large, are unpredictable. They're dangerous. So you have the public to consider, you have the occupants of the fleeing vehicle, and you have the officers. So you got to balance everybody's safety. So you really have to ask yourself, as an agency, is this crime, let's say it's a misdemeanor traffic offense, is it worth it? The risk that we pose to the public by having this chase go through our city.
Brooklyn Center is currently reviewing and revamping its pursuit policy, but it does not expect a major policy change.
A new sports turf complex is coming to Maple Grove. The City Council approved the synthetic turf complex this week. The total cost of the project is more than $10 million. 4 new fields will be built next to Fernbrook Elementary School. They'll be used for a variety of sports, including football, lacrosse, and soccer. Local youth athletic groups and a Hennepin County Youth Sports grant help support the project. Construction is expected to begin this fall, with the fields ready by spring.
Robbinsdale is about to get a big housing increase. The Beard Group says it will begin breaking ground on the Birdtown Flats by mid-July. The new complex will feature 132 apartments, underground parking, gas cooking in every apartment, and even a dog wash station. It will be built on West Broadway next to Citizens Independent Bank. Average rents are estimated at just over $1,500. Robbinsdale approved the project at Tuesday's City Council meeting. The city is helping fund the project through $2.5 million in tax increment financing. Beard hopes to have the first residents moving in by spring of next year.
Businesses like Travail and Wicked Ward have transformed Robbinsdale's downtown into a thriving success. But with all that business comes cars and, of course, parking problems. The city has some public parking in this lot near the water tower, as well as on-street spaces, but it needs more to relieve public parking pressure from this lot, which is only for people going to the businesses near it. Robbinsdale has purchased the old BP gas station at West Broadway and 42nd and plans to convert it into more public parking. There's still some work to do before they can start construction, including knocking the old gas station down, but the city hopes to have a parking lot built by September. Still ahead on CCX News, something new brewing at Surly's Brooklyn Center home.
Plus, it's rivalry night in Legion baseball as Osseo meets Brooklyn Park and Wayzata takes on Excelsior.
But first, staying cooler, temperatures in the low 70s on Thursday. We'll be right back.
Ever since Surly Brewing opened its destination brewery in Minneapolis, you may not have noticed what's happening at its original facility in Brooklyn Center.
That's right, there is excitement there too, and it's where top secret brewing is taking place. And our CCX News crews got a sneak peek.
So Brooklyn Center, this is our original brewery.
Inside Surly's Brooklyn Center facility, more is happening than meets the eye.
It's amazing to have this facility still. There's a lot of history here, a lot of great energy too.
If you don't know the Surly story, this is where it all began in 2006. Omar Ansari converted his father's abrasives metal business into a brewery. Fast forward to today, and there's people with lab coats and a room where only a select few are allowed.
Right now we're doing a membrane filtration of some can samples.
Riley Seitz is in charge of quality control.
Consistency is key. Clean beer is key.
She's making sure that beer that gets shipped out is up to Surly standards. While the company's Minneapolis facility brews core brands like Furious, Hell, and Extra Citra, the Brooklyn Center location is where the magic happens and new beers are created.
Most of the brands you're actually drinking out there are still brewed at this facility.
Head brewer Ben Smith gives us a sneak peek at what's to come.
These are the barrels that we just emptied actually for barrel-aged oat wine, which is another release coming out in a 750 bottle.
For the rest of this story, just your taste buds do the thinking.
Just a huge fruit bomb.
Surly started releasing a small batch of beers, paying tribute to its Brooklyn Center roots.
It's kind of a way to be a little more creative, have a little less risk, be able to do some things that are a little more outside the box.
Called BC Small Batch, the release started with a nod to a popular television series. Then came a pale ale brewed with lemon and grapefruit called Zest Crazed.
You're going to get a little bit of bitterness from the zest. You still get a really nice citrus character.
And the legion of Surly followers will be happy to know 2 new beers will reach stores July 2nd.
A little bit of tartness.
One called Mosaic Kettle Sour.
But not so tart that it kind of rips the enamel off your teeth. It's still really drinkable.
And another wine lovers can enjoy.
I'm a big rosé fan. I drink a lot of wine.
Called Rosé Lager.
Very dry. We use a lager yeast, so we finish it with a champagne yeast. and we use just a hint of blackcurrant and strawberry purees.
Even if you don't like beer, you can't help but appreciate the art of making a new brew.
We've had a lot of great feedback.
Knowing what's happening inside Surly's original home is the key to future beers.
I think it gives a lot of perspective to why people are so excited about Surly, kind of our grassroots.
And here's what else is new. The Brooklyn Center facility has resumed tours. They are free and they take place the fourth Friday of every month, including this Friday. You can sign up on Surly's website, and yes, free beer samples are part of the tour. Really neat to see the progress of that business. We were there in 2006 when they opened, and here they are all these years later.
Sticking to their roots.
Sticking to their roots,
like
that's
that.
right. Still ahead, a Wayzata High School alum starts a t-shirt business venture.
But first, they may become rivals in high school, but these young basketball players are having a blast together at the Osseo-Maple Grove Youth Camp. John Jacobson has that story up next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Like the other teams that made the state high school tournament, Wayzata's top American Legion baseball team had to postpone its early summer games. They are up and running now. Wayzata's #1 Legion team facing the top Excelsior team at Minneapolis. Top of the second, Brennan Albert lifts a fly ball that one hops to the fence and scores Sam Westermeyer, and it's a triple for Albert. Blake Ask rips a hit the other way. Albert trots home for a 2-0 lead. And they keep it going. Delaney Dahl pokes a hit over the second baseman to score Charles Engdahl and Keegan Nickel. Wayzata gets 5 runs in the frame. But Excelsior answers with 7 in the bottom of the second. Jared Wandershee's hit scores a pair. This ties the score at 5. Joel Timpson then lifts a fly ball to left. That bounces over the short fence for a 2-run ground rule double. And a 7-5 Excelsior lead. In the bottom of the third, Wandersee comes through again, lifting a fly ball to deep right field that scores 2 more. Excelsior leads 10-5 after 3, and their defense is tight the rest of the way, and Wayzata falls to Excelsior 11-6 the final. In the North Hennepin League, Osseo faced Brooklyn Park. Osseo the visitors in this game, originally scheduled for at Park Center. Top of the first, John Bezdacek drives a ball to the gap in left center field. Adam Landers comes all the way around from first, slides in safely with the game's first run. 2 batters later, Jake Contreras singles past short and into center field for a base hit. Bezdacek scores. He later drives in 2 more runs in the game. Trailing 5-1 in the third, Brooklyn Park's Riley Peterson rips one deep to left. This one gets to the fence. Spencer Harrington scores, and it's 5-3. Later in the third, the Pirates pull off a double steal. And even with the throw cut off before it gets to second, Peterson slides in safely, and it's a 5-4 game. Osseo gets those runs back and more in the fourth. Walker Holtgren draws a bases-loaded walk to score Cade Wiles. And then watch this play coming up. Matt Bezdacek will be hung up between third and home, but somehow eludes the tag as they try to tag him out on the rundown. He scores. Osseo leads at 10-4 after 4. They had 5 more runs in the 5th inning. Osseo goes on to beat Brooklyn Park 15-4 in 5 innings. The school year ended a couple of weeks ago, but young athletes are keeping busy with summer camps. As Jay Wilcox reports, 2 rivals at the high school level are teaming up this week.
Osseo versus Maple Grove is quite a rivalry at the high school level. This week at the Osseo-Maple Grove camp, that's all put aside, or mostly anyway.
Even the little kids already know like who's Osseo and who's Maple Grove, and they already have like that little rivalry kind of building up. It's really fun and interesting to see that.
We just kind of joke around with it, but nothing like major or anything.
This is our 9th year of doing it, and you know, it's a great way for us to enhance what Osseo-Maple Grove Basketball Association is doing for us, and it's our way to kind of help them develop quality basketball players.
This 4-day camp is split into 2 groups, with grades 1 through 4 going in the morning and this group of 5th through 8th graders in the afternoon. They learn skills and compete hard.
It's a lot of fundamentals and scrimmaging, and they just want to get us like better overall basketball players, like make better decisions on fast breaks and stuff.
I've been trying to work on my shot because it's kind of flat, so I've been trying to work on the arc in the shot, and they've helped me with that.
4-day camp designed to enhance the fundamentals, have fun, build some competitiveness with the kids.
High school players from Maple Grove and Osseo help their coaches to lead the younger kids, and it's a good thing for both sides.
They got really nice personalities and they're really good leaders.
Yeah, it's fun for me too. I love just talking to the little kids, you know, having fun with them, talk about Fortnite, stuff like that. So, you know, it's a lot of fun.
I get to see the passion starting to build up from the younger kids, like the older kids, just seeing like that passion, like that fire and desire for basketball is something that I like coming here and kind of looking at.
It's a fun week that will build basketball players who will keep feeding the strong Osseo and Maple Grove programs in the years to come. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
About 120 kids are attending the Osseo-Maple Grove camp between the two sessions. The Orioles and Crimson each have their own separate camps this summer also. That's all for sports. We're back with more in a moment.
And finally, a former Wayzata High School student's new retail business is encouraging people to be all they can be.
Reporter Sonia Goins shows us what's behind the brand Flavor.
I've never made a mess. I've only spilt one time.
19-year-old Drew Kincaid is the brains behind the brand Flavor.
Yeah, I just started screen printing right here in my mom's living room or dining room.
The company first came about when Drew and his friends were in the 7th grade.
We just kind of wanted to have something to represent us.
But that company eventually ended, and Drew brought back the name after his freshman year at the University of Minnesota.
I just wanted to have a new hobby, so I started making the shirts, needed a company name, remembered Flavor.
The environmental engineering major learned to screen print on his own.
A lot of trial and error went into learning how to screen print.
Getting inspiration for his designs anywhere he could find them.
I saw a bank teller at US Bank had something very similar to this, just doodled on a pad, and I really liked it, so I turned it into my own.
We got shirts! We got hats!
While the company offers hats, stickers, and a variety of t-shirts,
a lot of them have just like a nice goofy drawing on the back or something.
It's the message behind the brand that's selling the most.
The message came before the realization. Flavor means the flavors of life.
Drew is spicing things up by encouraging people, especially his generation, to get out of their comfort zone.
They're making enough money to pay rent, and they enjoy watching TV and their phone enough that they're just comfortable there.
When people see the Flavor symbol, Drew wants them to think of living outside the box.
I think people need to chase the things that make them happy.
Hey y'all, I'm having a really big sale.
He says living life to the fullest and being happy, whatever that means to you, is the key to success.
Whatever it is you love, that's like the flavors of life.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Very cool. Good luck to you. And we've got more information on where you can find those t-shirts all on our website. We'll see you next time.